This past weekend, the first couple of games of the official SPEEDRUN tournament happened, and it was honestly a blast. Watching top runners going against each other and watching how differently they did certain things was honestly really interesting. For those who didn't see my match, I went against my opponent, LackingToast, 2-0. Before I say anything about what I learned from a match or anything, we should probably do a little bit of a recap. So I think game 1 was pretty much the most scuffed game until that point. I didn't know this, but Toast and I went to different villages, different temples, different lava pools, and different strongholds. His stuff was like a lot farther away from spawn, and he ended up getting a really fast horse, but I ended up entering and exiting the nether before he did. Also, it took me 21 blaze to get 7 rods. After that, I entered the village at around 12:30, and things get a little ugly from here because my trading was pretty slow in this run. Most of it is attributed to the annoying mountain houses and bad inventory management. Not to mention, I had 6 unusable Fletchers in a row. Triangulation was pretty much on point. I got pretty lucky with a close stronghold, and I was able to use Pearl Travel. At this point, I actually thought that Toast was ahead of me by like a good 2 minutes, but that actually didn't end up being the case. The rest of the run was pretty weird. I found the portal room, I killed the dragon but died in the portal, and then I had to walk all the way back and enter it again for the win. The only reason Toast didn't win that game was because his village didn't have enough houses to blow up, so I guess I got lucky there. The second game was much more of an even playing field. We both pretty much went to the same structures. I entered the nether slightly before Toast did, and interestingly enough, he actually used a different lava pool, which was under the temple instead of the one by the surface. The blaze fight was alright. The drop rate wasn't the best, but it was nothing to complain about. Toast left before I could and started to blow up the houses before me. Soon we both started trading, and eventually I left the village before he did. I also had gotten 4 buckets from that village out of 5 chests, which is a 1 in 325 chance of happening. Strangely, Toast and I went to different strongholds even though we pretty much threw both of our eyes less than 30 blocks apart. And then I proceeded to enter the stronghold and die again, and once again get saved by Toast not having enough eyes. I ran back to the stronghold, killed the Ender Dragon, and won the match. Overall, there were plenty of mistakes on both sides. After my match, I ended up watching back a bunch of the other matches, and basically some patterns come up. The 2 most common time wastes are dying and not having enough eyes. Not only that, but having a fast overworld and fast nether aren't as big as an advantage as they look. Being a faster trader basically means you can really pull ahead of your opponent, especially when trading has basically no RNG. Now for a lot of good tips I picked up on, which I will definitely be incorporating into later matches. The first is to organize inventory when fighting Blaze. Especially when you are breaking temple chests instead of opening them, you are left over with a lot of junk that can slow down your trading. Next, using 8 planks to make buttons means you can back out of a house while you are blowing it up. Over the course of 8 or 9 houses, this can provide a decent time save. Setting your spawn in the portal room is really helpful in the case that you die during the end fight. But you actually have to make sure it's nighttime when you sleep, or else your spawn won't actually set, contrary to how it is in 1.16. The easy solution to this is to not sleep during triangulation, and to bring 1 extra bed. Not having enough eyes to fill in the portal was an incredibly common situation for other runners in the tournament. And despite how unintuitive it sounds, the fastest way to get an extra pearl or 2 is to nether travel back to the village and buy more pearls. Getting 16 logs or around 10 blocks of clay can get you an extra pearl. And that's it for that. Over the course of the next week, I'll probably focus on practicing trading because that's going to be a huge decider for future matches. I will also be practicing blaze fights, which is a major choke point to die in, and dying is a really awful time waste. Anyway, thanks for watching. You can watch me in the quarterfinals next week, and you can join my Discord to get notified of the schedule and when I start streaming. See ya.